has been us.
I got her, I'm straight.
But I want him to know his father.
But she also had another guy that she was dealing with.
You're not sounding like a man right now. You're not sounding like a man.
Without a name? If I was so much of a runner, why am I here now?
I don't talk about it. I don't think about it.
I'm not in the best of health. I need this.
This is one of the biggest shockers ever.
Come on, look at that boy.
But I did not see this coming, Ron. You may be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
This is
morning.
a case of Jackson v. Figures.
Thank you, Ron. Good day, everyone. Good day. Ms. Jackson, you say Mr. Figures was a smooth-talking Casanova who swept you off your feet and out of your clothes and then left you with a baby.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim Mr. Figures disappeared 20 years ago, and now you want to prove that he is definitely your son, Daniil's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Figures, you admit to being a former ladies' man, but you say there's no way you fathered Miss Jackson's child. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Miss Jackson, I need you to take me back to how you met. How did this all start?
I had a baby at 16. I couldn't take care of her. So my family actually told me, go, you know, better yourself. Go to Job Corps, do what you need to do. And I looked for love in all the wrong places. I met him like on maybe a Friday or Saturday night, and when I saw him with the long curly black hair, he was just so, I was stunned. I was very, he was gorgeous. He was gorgeous.
Mr. Figures.
Yes.
And you, it sounds like love at first sight.
It was infatuation. I was never in love with him.
You weren't?
No.
So it was just infatuation?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that's good you should say that. Then who else was you infatuated with? Let's keep it real now.
So the bottom line, you all did have a sexual relationship, right?
We did.
So, Mr. Figures, you acknowledge that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You did. Did you use protection? Were you guys using protection at the time?
Well, no, ma'am.
Not using protection?
We didn't. We didn't.
No.
All right, and so...
I definitely know it wasn't just me. So...
Oh, you do? You say you definitely know it wasn't...
I definitely know that.
How? Tell me.
Yeah. We used to have these little things that was called a green grass, right? We could go out and pick a spot and get to know each other, you know, per se. So that's what we did one night. And at the time, you know, when you're younger, sometimes people change their names and have these, you know, call yourself little nicknames or whatever, right? So at that time,
Majestic.
That was me. You see, she remembered. So I had another friend also. His name was
Mustafa.
She got a good memory. So
this testimony is going real well, isn't it, Ron? Okay, at least we know they're on the same page.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
So getting into the moment of...
The moment.
Yeah. She calls my name twice. Third time, she called his name.
Oh.
Now, I admit I didn't stop because we was in the middle of handling it. But.
It's lying.
But.
It is so lying.
Really? And to this day, she'll say she doesn't remember that.
Do you remember that part?
No.
But, you know why she don't remember it? Because she was in my world. That's what she said.
What you trying to say?
That's what she said.
Whatever.
So you're saying when that happened, you thought to yourself, oh, maybe she's with the other guy too.
That's a possibility. I mean, she called his name.
All right. When you find out you're pregnant,
wow.
Yeah.
Do you let Mr. Figures know?
When I found out, I thought I had a stomach virus or something. So when I went to the infirmary, you know what I'm saying, they gave me a pregnancy test. I'm stunned. I'm actually in shock. I don't have my family, so I'm really trying to.
But she also had another guy that she was dealing with at the same time. Why you coming to me?
Dealing with.
I don't want to have sex together.
Hold on a minute.
Well,
dealing with.
You wasn't
dealing with.
Did you know?
Let her testify. Let her testify.
Dealing with someone, meaning he had my back. Don't meaning we having sex.
Come on,
it,
man.
it didn't come to, but the person that he's talking about, he even went to him and told him, you know she's carrying my baby.
See what I'm saying?
Mr. Figures, so you admitted that.
Who? I went to the guy and told him that?
That's what she testified.
No.
Did you admit to that?
No. I didn't go to him and tell him that.
You know she carried my baby.
No, yeah, I went to him
because when later on that day he came to me
what
and
I
was
said
like,
to him,
why
do you know that this is what she's saying? He said, yeah, but at the same time they're supposed to be dealing with each other. Then he comes back and says, well, that he's going to take care of a child, or you know. So how can you say? How do I know that it's not his or it's mine, or I don't know? It's like she's just putting on
Your
somebody.
Honor,
I don't know what's going on.
This man, till this day, is still
in my life
in the picture.
Okay,
we didn't have sex. It's just he's in the picture. We're all in Job Corps, and he knows like I'm pregnant, and that he's Mr. Casanova.
I want to give Mr. Figures a chance to respond.
From my perspective of things, you have this friend that's in your life or whatever, and that's good. But at the same time, when you telling everybody that you dealing with this person, here it is a week later, you having sex with me again. But you got a boyfriend. Yeah, and that wasn't my fault.
Oh, I mean, I'm not blaming him.
You ain't never taken the initiative to do anything.
Like I said, if I didn't know how to get in touch with you, how can I?
You can find anybody here. So that's not an excuse.
Your Honor, can I give you this?
You don't remember that?
Look,
you don't remember that part?
With him, Your Honor, is totally different from sexing this man.
Come on, you was having sex with him and having sex with me.
Your Honor.
Right or wrong?
Wrong. Put it like this. If this man, because I can get in contact with him at any time, if he knew that this was his child, why would I be doing this after 20 years? You know what I'm saying?
If
you look at my son and look at this man, it's no way in God's green earth that anybody could ever think that this other man is his.
Come on.
I know.
Sound like he's running to me.
The only reason I'm here is because I want him to find out. And if I was so much of a runner, why am I here now? I mean, come on, I didn't have to come.
You know what, Mr. Figures? You didn't.
That's he should know.
I want to ask Danielle, how was it growing up without a dad and having to watch your mother, help your mother, try to find the man she believes is your father? How has this affected you, young man?
It was, I mean, we had hard times, rough times. We've been through thick and thin. And she always told me don't run from your problems, so I don't run from my problems. I stay with her through thick and thin. So
he needs to know.
And that's the reason why I'm here.
Your Honor, I have other children, and they dad come into their life. They come in, they take them places. They go here, they go there. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been me and him. He don't have nobody. I'm all he has, and he is all I have. What if I die tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Where's he gonna go? My other kids can go somewhere. Where's he gonna go? And that's been eating me for 20 years, that I have this man. I got you in the palm of my hand like I got your social security number. Why is it taking the state of Georgia 20 years to even swap his mouth?
Yeah, and that wasn't my fault.
Oh, I mean, I'm not blaming him.
You ain't never taken the initiative to do anything.
Like I said, if I didn't know how to get in touch with you, how can I? I may have
so many social media networks that you can find anybody here.
I'm not.
So that's not an excuse. That's an excuse.
You can find without a name.
You're not sounding like no man right now. You're not sounding like a man right now. You're not sounding like a man right now. You're not sounding like a man.
Without a name?
Yeah, you can find anything with a name.
Okay, but look,
hold on, Mr. Figures, are you suggesting that you did not know Miss Jackson's last name and you didn't even know your own potential son's name?
I knew nothing.
That's not an excuse.
I knew nothing. Well, hey, sometimes the truth may sound like that to you when you're confused.
You've never experienced having a father.
No.
So all you know is growing up without one.
I got her, I'm straight.
But I want him to know
You're not sounding like a man right now. You're not sounding like a man.
Without a name?
Listen, Mr. Figures, you know, you have a young man standing there and, you know, he has tears in his eyes, and he says it doesn't matter to him.
It does.
And the
It just
truth
hurt
is,
because of my mother. That's the only reason it's hurting me.
and that means it matters.
Yes.
Okay,
Because when you spent that much time loving your mother and the commitment you all have had to one another, like you said, through thick and through thin and up and down, you know, I believe you sometimes when you say, well, it doesn't even matter to me, because the truth is you haven't even had it to be taken away from you, meaning
Right.
you've never experienced having a father.
No.
So all you know is growing up without one. You can imagine what it would be like. You can watch your brothers, your sisters,
friends.
your friends.
See, they fathers and like all my friends have. My closest friend, his dad died, but he seen his dad. My other friends, they all know their daddy. They all having these things with their father.
But to be
I just
honest,
go home. Like, I ain't got time to deal with this. I'll find.
Hey, stop talking. You have a right to have that relationship.
I don't want that right.
In due time.
I know.
In due time.
My mind's already set. I'm done.
I know.
Your Honor, can I give you this?
What is that?
This is just
Next,
a baby
Ron.
book that...
Listen, babe, you don't have to decide today, but I want you to know that you do have it.
I'm sorry, Ms. Yana. I've been like this. We don't talk about this at all in my house. That's why I don't talk about it. I don't think about it. And that's it. The only person I really see as my father, because he's been there, is my youngest brother and father, because I have memories with him. Other than that, I don't really care.
Listen, baby, you swept it under the rug because that's all you could do to survive, to move on, to be strong, to be there for your mother. I understand. I understand. This is not easy, and it is completely unfair to you. You didn't do anything to cause it. You did not deserve it. You deserve much better than this.
It's a blessing in disguise to me, because that made me and my mama is even more closer.
That's my best friend.
That's all that matters. Really, that's all that matters to me. Me and my mom right here, that's all that matters. If I got her, I'm straight.
But I want him to know his father. This hurts where it's always for 20 years been us. Like, I have dreams of him coming to my house, or we, you know what I'm saying, like we meeting up, or them having a connection the way I never had my father. I never had my father. This hurts. And yeah, he's gonna put that mask on, but I want him to be able to take that mask off and be able to be on Facebook like, what's up, Dad? Or post pictures of them together like, oh my God, I'm not in the best of health. I need this.
You handed me this book, and I wanted you to tell me what it is.
Come on, man. Come on. Look at that boy.
It's a side-by-side picture
Really?
of Daniil on the left and Mr. Figures on the right.
Wow. Wow.
And tell me what else is in this book.
His other siblings, just him, the first day he was born.
So these are all monumental moments in Daniil's life, things that
Graduation.
his father has missed.
All of that stuff is on Facebook. Him walking across that stage and getting that diploma. I did it myself. I made it.
Yes, you did.
He don't got no children. He ain't never been arrested. And come fall, my baby going to college.
And so you brought this book here today for Mr. Figures because these are the things and the moments he's missed.
You got to start
Hand that
first.
to Mr. Figures. Mr. Figures, I can see you now, and I see emotion in your eyes, and I appreciate that.
I mean, I have other kids, and I respect and understand what's been going on over here, and he should know. You know, I don't want to take that from him, especially any longer. It has been a while, and like I said, I'm not running from him because I didn't have to be here.
Right. Thank you for being here.
Well, it has been 20 years. And we have the results you've been waiting for. Ron?
Your Honor.
Thank you. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Jackson versus Figures, when it comes to 20-year-old Daniil,
I don't talk about it. I don't think about it. That's it.
it has been determined by this court, Mr. Figures, you are not the father.
Oh my God.
20 years, huh? For this. I hope you find that, because everybody should know who their people are. My dad wasn't there for me either. So I'm sorry for you, man. I really hope you do find out who your father is.
It's fine.
I have to ask you, respectfully, do you know who? I mean, for 20 years.
Yeah, but he's been there all along.
My God. Does he have any clue that he is Daniil's biological father?
No.
This is one of the biggest shockers ever. I do not know the results.
Oh my God.
I don't know what they are, but I did not see this coming, Ron. So this child's father has been in his life almost his whole life, and he didn't know it was his father?
It's not almost. His whole life. He's
So he's
been
good.
there.
Daniil, babe, I wanna know how you feel. Is this surreal for you? Is it almost unbelievable?
I mean, the other guy been here, so it makes more sense. I feel more better if it was him, because, like, he's been there. So it makes more sense.
Mr. Figures, I will give you this. You right, after 20 years, you really did not have to come today. And a lot of men would not. I commend you for doing that, for just showing up. We have counseling available for you. We want you to take advantage of it. This is not easy news. I wish you all the best of luck. Court is adjourned.
Closed captioning provided by.
How fast are Allegra gel caps?
We're going out in an hour. I asked him, I said, what would you do if I was pregnant? And he said it would ruin my life.
And I'm Bahamian. Then the babies came out way too light. I wasn't ready to have no kids. I didn't want no more.
But you were having unprotected sex.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a recipe for baby making. Do you think you're the father at this point?
No, because she was married.
What? We all worked in the same building. My husband worked in the same building. My boyfriend worked in the same building. And Mr. Roll.
Well, Ron, ain't this all in the family? You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Roll v. Gadalian.
Thank you, Ron. Good day, everyone. Good day. Mr. Roll, you are here to prove you are not the father of Miss Gadalian's twin daughters.
Yes, ma'am.
You say she's infatuated with you, and that's the reason she wants to pin her babies on you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gadalian, you say there is no question Mr. Roll is the father of your twins. You say he left you with 2 babies and a broken heart.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Roll, how has this paternity suit affected you?
First, I want to say, Your Honor, she's obsessed with me.
Why?
She would take pictures of me. She would sit there. She'll walk past my job, staring at me. Then when me and my ex broke up, I seen just like numbers of pictures that I never seen before. I didn't even know were being taken.
So wait, you said you saw pictures you never knew were being taken.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you obsessed with him, Miss Gadalian?
No, Your Honor. I am.
How did this relationship start?
On breaks and stuff, I would go over to his job and get drinks or whatever, and he was somewhat of like a player, you would say. He would flirt with everybody there. So, you know, he was flirting with me. I was flirting back. So, I mean, after a while, you know, I looked him up on Facebook, and we started writing on Facebook and whatnot, you know, because I thought there was something going on. You know, we were flirting with each other all the time. And After a while, he invited me over to his house.
So you're saying you weren't obsessed, you were just interested.
Right, right.
And this was proceeding like a normal courtship would. You talked on the phone, you Facebooked.
Right.
Sent text. So at this point, Mr. Rowe, you single?
No.
You're not?
No. When she sent me the message on Facebook, I had pictures of me and my ex together. We all would go trips and do vacation. So she was well aware I was in a relationship when she hit me up.
Okay.
No, Honor.
You knew that?
She was well aware. She went through my Facebook and were able to find out where I was at, how to message me. She seen the pictures of me and my ex.
If you had a girlfriend at the time, how did you end up flirting and being in this full courtship thing with Miss Gedalian? Don't get quiet now.
Your Honor, he was cheating.
I'm a friendly person. I get along with anybody. It's hard not to like me. So I didn't really feel like I was being flirtatious in the beginning because I was in a relationship with a girl. We was happy, but then as time went on, on my part, I just felt like our relationship was going downhill. That's when she hit me up on Facebook, and it went on from there.
Ms. Gedalian, were you starting a relationship with Mr. Rowe, or were you all just flirting and being single?
When we started talking, I thought there was a little, more going on, a relationship starting. And then until he told me that he had a girlfriend.
So he tells you, I have a girlfriend.
He told me he had a girlfriend after we already had slept together.
Okay.
I wasn't, when you came to my home, I wasn't paying my bills by myself. Someone else was living there. I had pictures on the wall.
You had her at your house?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I wasn't trying to hide it.
You're not that sneaky. You just bring another woman into your girlfriend's house.
I was wrong.
Are you using protection?
No, Your Honor. We weren't.
When you all were having this flirtation, you thought it was a relationship budding. He just thought it was nothing, casual. When did it change?
When he told me he had a girlfriend, I should have stepped back and just, stopped completely. But then at that time, my feelings were already, starting for him. And we just kept doing it. It was wrong, but we continued to do what we were doing.
I wasn't going to leave the girl with for her. It was just, I told her what the situation was, and she, in my mind, she understood what was going on. Then when she started catching feelings, and I know she would catch feelings because she would buy me things, bring me food to work, and I see that she would catch feelings, I tried to step back, and then next thing you know...
Your Honor, he knew that I was catching feelings for him. I made it known to that, and he said that, he was catching feelings for me too.
I told you what you wanted to hear.
And he was...
Oh, hold on. He just said he told you what you wanted to hear, so you admit it.
Yep.
You admit it, Mr. Rowe. You did tell her you had feelings for her too.
Yeah, I told her what she wanted to hear. I was leading her on.
You were leading her on. With pride and conviction.
Yes.
Just being a lie.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And all the while you with your girlfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did your girlfriend ever find out about this?
Yeah,
Your Honor.
She Facebooked my girlfriend all the pictures, all the text messages that we had. Even after she broke me and my ex broke up, she continued to send pictures of that she's taken to my ex. She even continued to talk to her.
You sent her the pictures, Ms. Gedalian?
That was after I found out I was pregnant, and I asked him, I said, what would you do if I was pregnant? And he said it would ruin my life. I said, well, then never mind. He says, you're pregnant, aren't you? And I said, you know what, I am. Don't worry about it. It's not your baby.
The first day, she told me she had to tell me something. I didn't find out. I had to actually 2 or 3 days later what she wanted to tell me. That's when she told me she was pregnant. And of course it was going to ruin my life. I have 2 other kids. I take care of them, but at that time I wasn't ready to have no kids. I didn't want no more.
But you were having unprotected sex?
Yes, Your Honor.
With someone other than your girlfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
And telling her that you had feelings for her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that math don't add up.
It don't.
That's recipe for baby making.
Another man was there for the birth. Another man cut the umbilical cord. So in my mind, these are not my kids.
He said he did not care.
She also got mad and told me that she slept with another black guy.
You infused doubt.
That's like throwing gas on a fire.
No, you was already lit. When it comes to 5-month-old twins, Rebecca and Gracie Taylor.
No, Your Honor.
Let me make sure I'm on point with the facts. You find out you're pregnant, you tell him, you know he feels like it's going to ruin his life. What gets in your mind where you decide, I'm going to send these Facebook pictures over to this woman?
I found his girlfriend. We talked on the phone, and I told her that, I needed to tell her something very serious. I'm sorry that I did this.
This was like a public service announcement.
No, she needed to know that.
So at that point, you were filled with guilt.
Yes. She needed to know what was going on. He needed to step up to the plate and tell her, but he never was going to tell her.
I was going to tell her, but you just cannot force me to do something that I wasn't ready for.
So when you found out she sent the pictures over and now your ex knew about this, then what happened?
I called her and cussed out.
What did your ex do?
So when I got home one night from work, my ex was sitting at the table. She was sitting there crying, had the laptop open. I noticed all my clothes was packed. So when I went in the room and changed clothes, she came out. She was like, "What's this?" And she just started showing me all the pictures. And I got off the phone. I called her, I cussed her. I called her every name that my brain came up with.
This is because you're angry because she reached out to your ex.
I feel like she did it out of spite because I distanced myself from her. I just stopped talking to her. When she would come in my job, I wouldn't really say nothing to her. I'd just walk away from her.
Your Honor, no.
Trust me, I wasn't buying the public service announcement testimony anyway. So I'm sure that it was out of spite somewhat. But regardless, at this point, when you find out she's pregnant, your ex has been informed. Do you think you're the father at this point?
No, because she was married.
What?
Your Honor, I was in the middle of a divorce. I had been separated from my husband for over a year. We were in the middle of a divorce that I was trying to. Divorce lasted a very long time.
So, Mr. Roll, your point is she wasn't completely divorced, so she may have still been having sex with her husband.
And I was cool. She said slept with someone else. So, in my mind, I'm sitting there like, it can't be mine.
Where did you hear that?
From people I work with, and also people that work and the partner that she worked at also.
Had you slept with somebody else?
No, Your Honor.
You gotta prove me wrong. I got 15, 16 nieces and nephews. All of them take out my family dark, and the babies came out way too light.
Listen, they come in all shades and colors.
There was rumors that say they were Willies. There was rumors saying that they weren't Willies. I didn't care. I just knew that the man wasn't around.
And I can see the love in your eyes when you look at them. And Mr. Roll, you can barely look at them. It has been determined by this court. This courtroom is about getting to the truth, but I love it when people come into the...
I wasn't ready to have no kids.
But you were having unprotected sex with someone other than your girlfriend. Was Mr. Roll there? Did he participate in the birth of the babies?
No, Your Honor. After I told him I was pregnant and everything, and after the whole thing happened with his girlfriend, he kept telling me, leave me alone. I want nothing to do with you. I want nothing to do with the babies. I already have, kids. I don't need any more. After a while of trying and trying and trying to get somebody to be there, and they keep telling you to leave them alone, eventually you just leave them alone.
In my mind, as another man on the birth certificate, another man was there for the birth, another man cut the umbilical cord. So in my mind, these are not my kids. If they were my kids, I would have some part. You would have reached out to me at some point in time.
Hold on now. That's an important fact. There's another man on the birth certificate and another man was there for the birth?
I asked him if it was okay before it was even done, and he said he did not care.
Oh, so do you remember her approaching you and saying, look, I have a boyfriend now and he wants to sign the birth certificate?
Not really. It didn't happen like that. She was married. Like, in my mind, it was her husband. So you shouldn't come at me and ask me, is it okay?
But this person who signed the birth certificate, that's not your husband, is it? That's somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
He said boyfriend.
That's between you and your husband because you're married.
Oh, so you can go and have unprotected sex with his wife, but then when she gets pregnant, it only has to deal with him.
Your Honor, he knew it wasn't my husband at the time. We all worked in the same building. My husband worked in the same building. My boyfriend worked in the same building as me and Mr. Roll.
Well, Ron, ain't this all in the family?
I worked there for 5 years. Kind of.
You just covered every department in that building. Listen, this is a mess.
But she also got mad, told me that she slept with another black guy.
Your Honor, that was in the beginning.
So you said that to him?
I said that because I was upset.
So now you infused doubt,
like,
even more doubt into the picture.
It's like throwing gas on the fire.
No, you was already lit. Let's be clear. You all over the place, Mr. Rowe. Don't try to look innocent now. You all over the place. But I will say, if it was any little point that he could have been checked in, you gave him a reason to check out then.
You know, I'm Bahamian. Then the babies came out way too light.
Listen, they come in all shades and colors. But how can you just look at the children and say...
I got 15, 16 nieces and nephews. All of them take out to my family. Dark, head full of hair, babies. And when these kids were born, it wasn't like that.
Had anybody else in your family slept with Miss Gadalian? I mean, I'm not being funny. Because if not, her DNA was not involved. So that can't be a predictor of what these children are going to look like. I think we need to meet the man that's on the birth certificate. Ron?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please escort Mr. Taylor into the courtroom?
I'll have you stand right next to Miss Gadalian, please. Right here.
Mr. Taylor, thank you for joining us today. You signed the birth certificate for these beautiful children when they were born, and you were also at the hospital when Miss Gadalian delivered.
I was. Me and Sarah had built a relationship. I knew she was pregnant. Obviously, I knew they weren't mine. There was rumors that say they were Willie's. There was rumors saying that they weren't Willie's. After our relationship built, I didn't care. I just knew that the man wasn't around.
So when you and Miss Gadalian started to form a relationship, you decided you wanted to give these children your last name.
I did. Where I come from, you don't lay down with a woman without protection or anything like that, unless you're willing to understand that babies can happen. So to sit and deny when a woman comes up to you and says these children may be yours.
You didn't know what was going on between us, so
I didn't care. It wasn't. It's not about you. It's not about her. It's about those children.
So, Mr. Taylor, in the meantime, you stepped up as their father.
I did.
These twins. You signed the birth certificate.
Yes, ma'am.
You gave them your last name.
Absolutely.
You've been their dad.
Along with my mother's names, which to me is a big deal.
Oh, they're beautiful. And I can see the love in your eyes when you look at them.
Yes, ma'am.
And, Mr. Roll, you can barely look at them. I think it's time we go to the results. I'm ready. Thank you, Ron. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say before I read these results? Anyone?
If they're mine, I'm the only man that they need in their life. I appreciate what he did, but I can do it all myself.
Anything else you'd like to add? Mr. Taylor, Miss Gadalian?
I don't want them to lose my last name.
All right, it's coming off their birth certificate. They're mine.
Were you denying them, or are they yours?
Which one? Nothing you do about it.
Confused. So they are yours now.
Well, shit.
Or are they not?
Shit.
Like,
shit.
You keep
That's why I'm here to find out.
Luckily for us all, I have the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Roll versus Gadalian, when it comes to 5-month-old twins, Rebecca and Gracie Taylor, it has been determined by this court Mr. Roll, you are their father.
I just want to apologize for not being there. It's so much had happened in my anger issues. I just pushed them away. Like,
and I can see that really hurts you now.
My father denied me my whole life. All me and my brothers and sisters. And I did the same thing to them. I told myself I'd never do that.
You know, this courtroom is about getting to the truth, but I love it when people come into this courtroom and have the courage to just tell the truth. You admitted you had some doubt, but what I thought was even better about that, and that showed me who you were as a man, is that you admitted that you let anger get the best of you.
I appreciate what he did, but I'm the only man that them girls need in their life. You may want your name on their birth ticket, but it's not going to happen.
We'll see.
You know, this is a difficult situation.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Roll, with this information you've gotten today, you would have to proceed in your home state to have his name removed.
Oh, I understand.
Okay. So you've got some catching up to do, Mr. Roll?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Taylor, you've got some adjusting to do.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Gedalian, you're going to have some mediating to do. I wish you all the very best of luck. We have counseling and resources for you. Please sit down and take advice. I'm sorry?
Can I see the girls?
May he see his girls?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wonderful. I wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Court is adjourned. Good luck to you.
Closed captioning provided by...
How fast are Allegra gel caps?